right, Laura J, rounding out a bend. Right now, as I say, this was the day 1 year ago when I finished the manuscript, though I wrote the epilogue about the day before, being May 30th, when so much has happened on that special day for me because I chose to make it significant. And while I did my best to finish the manuscript on that day, it took until the wee hours of this day to do it. So, all of that said, simply leads me to wed this day with the reality that every day is a blessed day if we choose to live in our heart instead of betray our soul for the sake of physical comfort, which is exactly what the prostitute within us does, that being an archetype, which is a familiar pattern we fill with energy that's either scared or sacred. So, I wanted to let you know that on June 25th, from 10 till 5, I will be running the next workshop live in Blackstock at Soul's Path Retreat Center, where we will be making friends with our emotions, breaking up with the bullies within. I want to be honest in the fact the bullies within me have been vigorously chasing me into fearful states that took me out last week and is part of why I have stayed away from actually posting or sharing where I've been or what I've been doing. I say this vulnerably because it's necessary for us to realize that if we are really doing the inner work, we're not going to seem as polished as we would like to. And having been in the coaching industry and met many speakers from around the world during my time with the John Maxwell team, I believe that there are many leaders on the world stages who have been limited by their fame, because when you can't be vulnerable or transparent anymore because you have too much to lose, you can't do the inner work that would trigger those emotions that need to be reclaimed, that need to be reintegrated. And it sometimes can tarnish our name if we've become the brand. Laura J, namaste, namago. That's what I say. Yo. I say just because it rhymes. So I do what floats my boat, and also say that we must find a way to do the inner work despite the uncomfort, the discomfort, and uncomfortability that comes with feeling unhinged when we are actually flipping from the upper chakras into the lower ones. That is exactly what we'll be doing on the 25th. I'm putting it together now and actually incorporating sacred space holding training so that we can practice holding space for one another's emotions to actually step forward to be reintegrated. And forgiveness is absolutely a component in that process, that I am going to facilitate a process that I have been working with in my own life. I say this and then no, I am going to be challenged so much in the lead up to it as I have been in the last one, and yet it is without a doubt going to be worth it, because all that I've went through in the last month, I go by an archway there and 222 there. Everything I went through in the last month brought me to greater clarity because I held on to the need to actually facilitate the workshop that had a lot of emotional scar tissue, driftwood, floating around within my inner realms, which knocked my crown many times, which is also the very place where our inspired ideas come through. Crown chakra. So, as I stop, with pause, and carry on, I would like to invite you to reach out and let me know whether you are able to make it to Blackstock for the retreat that will be very neat and also bring up a lot for you, which I will be creating an opportunity to have ongoing connections available to support you through your process without pretending I am anything other than I am, without pretending to have arrived, even though last year I accomplished a goal. Many say, wow, like 5 years it took you to write that book, like some people never finish. Well, that was a goal that rewrote me because my identity got vested in writing it. And then I had to shift into actually having an identity connected to having wrote it. And now I'm in the process of actually promoting it in a way that for this last near year I have not done because I've been so busy creating more that I didn't actually dig into the quality of material I put together then because I was trying to offer more value, forgetting that it is through repetition that we truly are able to integrate another archway. Archways are about liminality, which is the realm between realms or worlds. The world we used to know before we left the comfort zone of home to pursue the adventure. And then in front of us is the world as it will be once we have integrated the experiences and lessons from the Valley of Transformation, which is what liminality is about. So these archways show up along my path, and I acknowledge them because I read the signs, symbols, and omens. And I've done it for a few years now, particularly carefully. Yet, when I first came into the practice of it, I didn't realize how uncommon it is to do so. And I also didn't have the access I now do because of the emotions I've moved through, reintegrated, and now am able to actually embody so I can contribute it, which is what the sacred sojourn of the soul allows us to do, and exactly what I was workshopping with those who attended the workshop last weekend. So, as I pull into the garage of the home where I live with my papa, I clap my hands because it is nearing the end and I wanted to finish before 10:10, since that is the day that I was born to these common lands that we stand on so long as we do not drop a knee to be knighted and converted with a status, title, or personage that changes our identity so a new entity can feed off of the ID that we identify with, bringing a mental construct into form because we believe it to be the norm. These are what we're going to be going into deeper within the workshop about breaking up with the bullies within. And what we find is that as we do so, we actually are able to clear the static, as I did by simply turning down the volume of the noise so that I could go inside And when I did, and when I do, as with you too, the outside noise will shift too. So with that, I will bid you adieu. Laura J. Namaste.